Welcome once again to a new little tape set. These next two tapes are all based upon a book written by Billy called The Psyche. And this book covers quite a bit of interesting information. Among the fascinating things that Billy learned throughout his lifetime, as well as through his contacts with the Plejarians and other races, was a lot of information about how we think, what spirituality is. We've already listened to some tapes on about the Talmud Emmanuel, about Jesus and Emmanuel. And if you've listened to the tapes on creation now, you have some foundation for the Pleiadian philosophy about what a creation is, how it creates a universe, and how it creates life forms, and how we ourselves, our humans, go through those life cycles. So we're providing a foundation for moving up to the point to day-to-day thinking. Okay. Now we're moving into an area, after listening to the meditation tape, you've got some ideas now psychically about how your psyche works, how your brain works, and the different parts of ourself, the material side and the spiritual side. We've gone over that a little bit. So we're going to go a little farther into that now and start trying to apply some of this information to our day-to-day living. And most of this is brought out, like I say, in this book written by Billy called The Psyche. And it has, of course, to do, it's in direct meaning to the psyche of the material mind, which is the storehouse for all of our feelings and thinkings about ourselves. It's, it's the persona. It's how we perceive the world, so to speak. So that was the title for his book, but it deals with a number of things, going over memory, concentration, how to actually learn how to think, and so forth. And so all of this is about developing a correct psyche in your material life. Most of us go through our lives, a little bit confused, trying to figure out why we're here, what we're doing, things. And if you just look around you, notice all the people that are, reacting strangely to different things in life. They somehow will get frustrated or angry or whatever, or they get depressed. Surely you must know some people that are very positive and everything just seems to go well for them. They seem to be very lucky in life, and they always seem to have an attitude that serves them well, so things go their way in life. They're always up. Okay? And other people seem to be sometimes always kind of depressed. And these are the people that can't seem to ever do anything right. And they always have an attitude like, oh, woe is me, it just won't work, or I don't know what to do, and so forth. And of course, we're all different, so we're all at varying stages and mixes of attitudes. But that attitude we form about life, that big attitude that's in our psyche, all those feelings and thinkings that we get, project really how we deal with life. And that's what this book is all about. At the very beginning of the little book on the psyche, Billy has a little thing on spirit healing to define what that is, because it starts to set the framework for the things that we're going to talk about and brings up some important points about what a spirit actually does. Spirit healing. You've probably all heard that phrase. It indicates someone who heals someone else by virtue of the spirit. Spirit healing means healing through the powers of the spirit. Powers of the spirit. That's an interesting phrase. We have a material conscious mind. We're beginning to understand that we also are spiritual beings, but does the spirit actually have power? Yes, it does. And that power is created through a knowledgeable clarity of thought, where we manifest thoughts and feelings and ideas, and the spirit becomes strengthened in that. It gains in its personal force through power of thinking, through power of knowledge, through power of wisdom. So when we say the power of the spirit, which means that we are, using a today's word, programming the spirit through wisdom, knowledge, and clear thinking, we begin to program the spirit to be able to have knowledge of its own and grow. It, of course, already has some wisdom. It has the wisdom, the accumulated wisdom of previous lives that we can build upon. Now we're going to add new things to it, new thoughts, new logic, and so forth, that make the spirit even stronger. And as we start, addressing the things in life, the difficulties and problems of life, using our spirit, which cannot be ill, cannot be logical, and so forth, when we can call upon that great power of our spirit, which also has the force of being able and the ability to be able to call upon the force of the universe within itself, then, we can deal with things very strongly. This is real power. When we have power even beyond ourselves, power that we are capable of call upon, this universal power, the power of creation that is out there and available to all of us. So when we say spirit healing means healing through the powers of the spirit, we're talking about being able to provide the power, through the use of our spirit, provide logic and ability to someone else that they can kind of use, kind of borrow, kind of get themselves jump-started to heal themselves. So you can activate the spirit of a sick person. A sick person, one who has, say, some sort of illness of the liver or kidneys or something like that, some sort of illness of the body. It might even be an illness just of the mind, some sort of sickness in their psyche. You can help that person. And what you do actually is through the force of your own spirit, through the clear thinking, logical power of your spirit, you can activate their spirit. Because see, they actually heal themselves. You must motivate and make their spirit work for themselves. Because in most cases, quite a few cases, they're probably sick because of the ill, negative thoughts in their spirit. They're probably using their spirit improperly, if they're using it at all, or they're thinking so negatively and depressively they may have been causing the illness. But at any rate, their spirit is probably down and they're not knowledgeable or aware that they can actually use their spirit to correct an illness that's within the body. So you can motivate and make their spirit useful. This is going to require a lot of brain work on their part because the fact is they have to do the actual healing. You know, it's possible that yourself, you can lend a hand, so to speak, some power of your own spirit through logic and clarity to get them started and so forth, but they have to want to do it themselves. There are people, of course, among us who are stronger at this than others. There are people whose force of spirit sometimes is so strong they can almost effect a cure or healing all by themselves. By the pure nature of their own spirit, they can actually cause another person's spirit to do things, to actually set things in motion in another person and cause the healing. But what they're actually doing is using the other person's spirit to do the healing. It isn't their own. It's through the force of their own spirit that they're able to direct and motivate the other person's spirit. Okay? So the other person actually has to do the brain work. He must heal himself. You can start the ball or the rolling, give a push in the right direction, whatever. You can also use the magnetic field, your auric field around yourself, to also affect people. This is where hands-on healing comes into play. This is also another way that can be effective, where the power of your spirit. We're going to talk more about the aura later on, but just for our short little story right here, bear in mind that the aura projects the thinking of the individual, that who you are spiritually is projected in your aura. If you are a person of great power of spirit, clarity and logic, then it not only shows in your aura, but it affects the aura as far as the magnetic field and the actual frequencies in the aura. So your aura itself can come in contact with the aura of another person and serve that purpose also, as to actually heal. This is a very good way to get rid of headaches and things like that. If someone's just kind of feeling down or a little achy and painful and so forth, you quite often can just blend your aura with theirs, and that's commonly done like usually with the hands. Hands are great areas of sensitivity. You can move your hands into the aura of another individual and hold it there for a period of time, and generally a headache will probably go away. What's happening here is the frequencies. The frequencies of your aura, of your power of spirit, then, are actually moving into the aura of another person and causing a realignment of the magnetic field of their aura, which has an effect on their body. So that's entirely possible also. The person, though, normally has to accomplish his healing on his own through the power of his own spirit. And this is going to require an awful lot of neutral, positive, what we call mental attitude, which I'll explain more on, but basically it's what's called balanced thinking, where the person then, the force of his spirit doesn't think negatively